Hi, so this is the recipe for my homemade bread. Hope it turns out okay. It's only the second time I do it. Main ingredients: flour, yeast, water and salt. So flour, I'm going for 500 grams. 300 grams of this flour, which is the most important one, is the durum wheat flour. These are Italian brands. And this is doppio zero flour, double zero flour, the typical flour for pizza. So 200 grams of this, 300 grams of this, and I've already put that aside. Yeast, first time I use this, and water, 275 ml of water, so between 250 and 300 ml of water. And salt will be 2 spoonfuls. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Yes, one more thing. Apparently, I read this, to activate the yeast, it's best to add 1 spoonful of sugar. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the yeast, mix it with a spoonful of sugar, then mix it with the water, and add that water to the flour. Start mixing, and only after a while add 2 spoonfuls of salt. They say don't put the salt too early because it will interfere with the yeast. So that's the plan. So I let the mixer knead the bread for about 10 minutes. And by the way, I use the mixer because I'm lazy. Naturally this can be done by hand, and it'll probably just take as much time, just a little bit more effort. And after this time we should have a nice little ball. It's little, but we'll see tomorrow how big this will get. So it will continue to rise. I forgot to say, I'm doing this at night, so I'm gonna let it rise overnight. I think the minimum should be about 4 hours if you're in a rush. Another thing that is good to do, I learned last time, is that this will start stretching out and it will start getting sticky again as it does. So I'm just gonna, so that it is easier to pull out tomorrow. That's it. To cover it, to make sure it is airtight. Finally, this is the last task for the night. You find a nice place to store it, a place where it's not going to catch a lot of air, and a place that is not too cool. So I actually normally put it inside the oven, switched off oven of course, to let it rise overnight. Ready for the oven. So that's it. Essentially you just want to shape it up in the morning. You roll it flat until you get, with your hand, until you get a square shape, a square flat bread, and then you roll up in the shape that you need. And then these cuts are important for the baking process, because they ensure that the bread won't break up. You want to let it rest for about half an hour at least. It's been about half an hour. I preheated the oven to 225, so it's going to be a very hot start, and then I'm actually going to change it back to 200 as I put it in, so that for the first 10 minutes it's hotter than 200, and then 200 for 45 minutes. That's the idea. But let me just do the final touches. I was going to try something new here. Sesame seeds. So here is a brush with a little water. I've never done this before. Back to 200. Now we wait.
We can make bread.
All right. Moment of truth.